Hello, Scorpio. This is Jesse with 44 Astro. This is a general tarot reading for the sign of Scorpio for the month of July. This is the inaugural reading for the channel for Scorpio. This is my launch. I decided to do it on 777 because it's a destiny number, and hopefully the destiny from this channel will be bright. And we're going to do a destiny reading for the sign of Scorpio. I myself am a Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio, Sag, but literally everything in my chart is in Scorpio and Sagittarius. I have a stellium that spans the whole two signs. It's insane. So I'm going to be connected to this energy. I'll try not to be too biased on it. I'm going to do a Crowley spread, which is, I'll explain what it is, and I'll use the Thoth deck, which is the Crowley design deck, to do clarifiers. It's going to be 3 in the middle, and then the 4 corners around it will have 3 as well, and I'll explain what each position means. We're just looking for a spot to start as soon as it lets me know. Scorpio. Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Okay, walking away, work and balance. Ooh, and of course, we're Scorpios. We're going to see the devil card. Ain't no doubt about that. Oh, well, it's not all bad. Okay, our overall energy is looking pretty good, guys and girls. We got the sun at least, so this is the spotlight being on us. But what else is new, right? We got that magnetic energy, so we're gonna get attention whether we like it or not. We walk into a room, people start staring at us, and we don't even want to be looked at. Okay, general energy. This is basically the current question or the current situation. We've got the 8 of Cups, Temperance, and the 3 of Pentacles. So this looks like something to do with balancing something with work, like maybe working a lot or something we're proud of. I keep saying we. I can't help it. It's like walking away from that, like expecting to be appreciated in some way maybe, and walking more toward balance instead of looking for attention maybe. The question could be have something to do with our work and whether we should leave work and go to something more fulfilling and balancing, because this is an alchemical card, Temperance. It's about balance, but it's got all the 4 elements in it, and they're being used in the creation of this angel, or what he's creating with the cups in his or her hand. Angels are generally androgynous, so you can't really assign a gender to them. And this would be the current path that we're on, having to do with maybe walking away from work or something that we're working on to find more balance, and that being the question or what we should do. The path that we're technically, I keep saying we, the path that you're on, and probably me too, because I'm a Scorpio. There's a lot of Scorpio readers. They never include themselves in the reading, but if it's a collective Scorpio reading, I've got to include myself because I am a Scorpio, and that's right to do. And when I get to Sagittarius, I'll include myself as well. Just because you should. I get you're reading for others, and it's not a reading for yourself, but if you're part of the collective, it's going to mean something. But this is the current energy. We have the Devil, the Fool, and the 10 of Pentacles. This is screaming new path. This is screaming something that we were chained to, being freed from it in some way. And the devil can represent all kinds of vices. It could be an unhealthy relationship, could be alcohol, could be drugs, could be sex. I mean, Scorpio's sex can be an unhealthy attachment, could be like pornography and stuff like that. I know a long time ago I had a really bad addiction to stuff like that, like pornography, and I do not look at it anymore. I don't look at it as healthy. But to each their own. I had to do it for myself because it was an unhealthy thing. But anyway, it could be some sort of freedom from whatever that is, and it leading to happy home, which is very nice. It's like a carefreeness. It's like whatever our troubles may have been, or the things that used to tie us down, even just negative thoughts, anything that tied us down, we're just like, you know what? Screw it. It's all about this now. Happiness and abundance and focusing on that. And we're gonna definitely lay some clarifiers on that devil. But I feel like it's like, and it's like, bye. Like, it's all good. It's like me and my little dog just being like, hey, here we go. Or you and your little dog are cat or whatever you have. I have cats and dogs. Just, it's carefreeness. It's not caring about whatever these things that are trying to chain us down are. It's beautiful. I've never seen the devil in a reading and just been like, so like, who needs it? Because like that's the energy for Scorpios right now. And the devil plays a prominent role in the sign of Scorpio. It just does. Do a little research and you'll see why. It's nice. That's the current path that the Scorpio Collective is on. And we'll look a little deeper into it. This is an alternate path that we can choose to go on. And it's not bad either. It's got the World, Six of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. Yeah, the World's completion. That's having it all. I mean, it's got the 4 fixed signs on it. It's got the lady in the middle, wands in both hands, flying in the air, surrounded by a wreath. I mean, she understands it all. She has it all. She's done it all. And that's what that path is, right? It's completion. It's completion and balance in the other path. This is generosity in a way, but it's giving and receiving, not just receiving. It definitely can be receiving, though. And then we have this, which is, the King of Swords, which is logical energy. It could be that maybe you have a lot of air in your chart. I do. I have a grand trine in air. So air does play a role in my chart. I don't really have anything in signs except for Aquarius and a Gemini. But Gemini is just Chiron, and then my Aquarius is Jupiter in my second house. And it also could be an air sign individual. And it could be that you choose to be generous to this air sign individual. And maybe you offer them the world. And I don't even see anything necessarily wrong with that path, but we will clarify on that path. We'll probably clarify on the paths just because I'm interested. But yeah, both paths look fine. I mean, you have completion cards, new beginnings, balance. The question was about balance. Or it feels like it was about balance, specifically in work. And it's like maybe you're chained to work. I know I feel that way a lot of times. I mean, I barely am making time to be able to do this because I have to work so much, or I'll work so much. But it's like not letting it get to you, which is beautiful. I try to let it get to me. I've been trying to stay a lot more positive. It leads to money, leads to completion of whatever it is. So I think it is. I think for me or for anyone, right? You're going to want to find balance between, work. Because if you don't, you're going to be a slave to it. You got to find some kind of balance. And on this other path, it's like you find that balance. So I guess if we find the balance, we're going to be generous. We're going to be balanced. We're going to receive. We're going to give. We're going to be sitting there with the knowledge. Like, that's right. Of course, we got the knowledge. It's really nice. And it could be that you're going to be generous to an air sign. Absolutely. My brother's an air sign. So who knows for me? It could be that. Boom, 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 boom. This is advice. We got the moon, the hangman, and the lover. So this is kind of confusing energy here for advice. I don't like that we have the moon for advice. But it could be like, don't look at it for what it is, or see it in a different way. Like, look at it in a kind of a more dreamy or an imaginative way. And that makes a lot of sense with the hangman being with it. And it's all 3 major arcana, so it's major energy. And it could be, looking at your relationship in a different way, or all your relationships, your connections with people in a different way. Look at it in a more dreamy way. Look at it in a more imaginative way. A different perspective. This man is upside down, but he's enlightened. See that light around his head? Saints have that. And you see them like in churches, like big cathedrals, you see like the stained or the stained glass with like the pictures of saints and stuff. They always have that halo around their head. Even like Jesus or Buddha or any of them, they'll always have that light around their head because this man's enlightened. He's seen it from a different perspective. It's not necessarily a perspective that's easy to come to, and it's more of a dreamy type energy, or like it's definitely dreamy or romanticized type energy. So, if you're coupled, be imaginative in your love, in your relationship. I've been with my wife for 21 years, so we look to find ways to be imaginative and creative in the way we love each other. And that's always good energy. And it doesn't. And for if you're single, it just means like the way your interactions with just maybe just anyone. Be more loving. Look at it in a different way. Be imaginative. Because us Scorpios, man, we can smell what you're thinking, regardless of what you say. It doesn't even matter. We're gonna look at you. We're gonna see into your soul. It's just what we do. It's natural, and we do it better than any other sign. We're the investigators. We're looking for that. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe don't do that. I mean, it's impossible to stop, and I know better than anyone. It's just it's a confusing energy, or maybe it's a dreamy energy, or even like maybe in a psychic energy. And Scorpios are very psychic, and it leads to some kind of different perspective. And it could have to do with relationships or love. That's an angel behind those two individuals. Could be connection, and there's a big sun in that behind them. And it's the sun in the moon card, even though the moon is over the sun like an eclipse. I mean, this read looks great to me. The outcome's a little sketchy, so we're about to come to the outcome. We're going to clarify this too. This is the outcome. This is the energies that are going to be here, whether we like it or not. Ten of Swords, Knight of Swords, King of Wands. So this looks like an ending of a cycle. And what's weird is both these knights are facing the same way, right? One is running toward the 10, and one is kind of just facing away from it. It's like two aspects of ourself. Like the passionate, it's all about passion. And Scorpios are very passionate, very fiery water, if you will. It's already a fiery water sign. And if you have fire in your chart, it's going to be even more fiery. And he's just kind of facing away from this ending, or what could be an ending. And this fella's running straight into it. Like he's like, I need it to end so that I can rush forward with the truth. And all the swords, any court card, any sword that they're holding is a sword of truth. Make no mistake. And it could be an ending between two people, right? It could be a fire sign or somebody, with this type of energy and this type of energy, and that 10 of swords between them could be because of how it's set up. Remember I told you about that air sign up there? That air sign could be stabbing this fella in the back, and that fella could be you, could be me. It could just be another fire sign that you're aware of. Or it could be your mind sabotaging your passions. I can relate with that, personally. Like my intrusive thoughts trying to tell me that I can't accomplish my goals or something like that, like whatever it is that your passion is. I've definitely dealt with that for sure. It could be something like that. And it could be that maybe there's an air sign that really specifically will stab you in the back. And that might not be necessarily you right here, but it could be, because Scorpio is the fiery water. I mean, like, Scorpios are generally very calm. I have a lot of Sagittarius in my chart, so I'm a little bit more, even though I have heavy Scorpio too. Like I said, both signs are just stacked with all my planets. I have 2 outlying planets, that's it. Like I have a giant stellium from Sagittarius and Scorpio, so it's very concentrated energy. Scorpios are generally calm, but if you piss one off, you're going to feel the fire. Ain't no doubt about that. Get stung with that tail, and it's going to hurt. But we're going to clarify on that. It could be that this individual is stabbing this individual in the back because his back is turned to him. He's just charging straight at him, and it's like swords in the back. Ugh. It's like you're doing so good. Like everything is so good. Even both paths feels good. That somebody's just got to come and try to be like, nah, dude. You can't have it that good. That's never fun. We're going to clarify. First, we're going to clarify the paths. The 2 paths, and then we're going to clarify the 10 of swords down there. Because this is odd. 2 paths seem fine. Both paths. The alternate path, the path that we're not on, with that King of Swords there, makes me wonder if that Knight of Swords is the same individual, and that he's running straight into the back of Scorpio. Come on, let me know. Oh, right there. Okay. The devil. Oh, it's the Emperor. Well, it's in reverse. I don't generally do reversals, but this card came in reverse, so it's going to stay in reverse. You got defeat in reverse, which means victory, pretty much. In this deck, anyway, because the card is defeat in this deck. It's not the same as the Rider-Waite, where there's a guy holding a couple of the swords, and there's guys running off with their swords laying on the ground. So it's a little different. It literally means the Lord of Defeat. So if it's upside down, it's the Lord of Victory, essentially. Basically becomes the Six of Rods with the Emperor, but we have the Nine of Swords here, which is cruelty, the Lord of Cruelty. We got that on the Devil. I mean, the Devil would be an Emperor type individual, right? If it is a specific person, or if it's a specific habit, and it could be the habit is being too authoritarian in our nature, too controlling. And I know as a Scorpio myself, I love to be controlling, to manipulate things into the way that I want them, and I'm able to do it. But it's unhealthy. I don't do it like I used to do it really bad, but I don't do it anymore. I haven't done it in years, really. Not consciously. If I did it, it'd be unconsciously, which could of course still happen. But it could be that aspect of us is the Devil, and that we can be free from it easily. We just the Fool. He's like, because it's if we don't get away from it, it's going to cause this. It's that with this in reverse, it's that need to always win, regardless. Even if up front it feels like you lost, you'll hold on to it, and then later you'll get them back, and you'll win. And believe me, can't nobody hold on to a grudge like a Scorpio. So I would suggest it's something like that, holding on to a grudge, the need to win. The ancient ruler of Scorpio is Mars, even though it's definitely Pluto, if you understand the nature of Pluto and power. And Scorpio is more about power than competition, for sure. So with Scorpio, yes, it seems competitive and you want to win, but it's because of power. You want the power. So that's what I would suggest that is, for sure. It just feels like, don't hold on to it too long. Be like this guy. Be like, who cares? I'm still going to win. It's written in the stars, baby. Scorpios always win. That's what we do. I'm gonna check this other path though. I'm just curious about the King of Swords on it. Oh, there we go. Four of Cups, Eight of Rods, Three of Wands. Well, maybe it's not the same individual. Interesting. He was on the bottom, which is that other Knight of Swords. So I'm thinking that this Swords fella is different. So this may not be the same individual. It may be specific aspects of our intellect stabbing us in the back when it comes to our passions. Or our passions turning its back on this, which would be our intellect. You need them to be in balance. You need them to work together for each other, because this is in between them. So I think it could be something like that, because this is for the King of Swords, so it doesn't feel like it's the same individual. There's no way. Because you have in this deck this Virtue, in the Rider Waite, it's the guy waiting on his boats to come in with the 3 rods. This fast communication, this card is the Lord of Swiftness, just fast movement, communication, things like that. And this is being blind to something, like an offer, but in this deck it's a luxury. So yeah, I think the outcome is that if we're not careful, and we have to keep our intellect and our passions in balance, or they will end us. And it could be the end of the cycle of that happening, of the end of the cycle of our intellect chasing our passions, right? Because he's chasing it, but he's got that 10 of Swords in between him, and that generally means the end of a cycle. So maybe that's done. Maybe we're no longer doing that, because everything in this reading is good. I mean, this was on the bottom. I mean, you can't even knock that. And you could say I'm being biased because I'm a Scorpio, but the cards are the cards, right? Even with the Devil, he had this beside him. He's like, I don't care. I'm going to have it all. It's pretty fucking cool. Well, I mean, I guess that's all I have. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if this resonates in any way. This is the inaugural readings for the channel. I hope to get some subscribers, some likes, and some comments so that I can continue to do this and hopefully grow the channel. Thank you for being here, Scorpio.